Okay, this is going to be the concepts or these products that we are going to cover. One is managed services, RIM, CI is converged infrastructure, then HANA appliance. These are all the four. With this, actually, I would request Swami to take managed services to you. Rest will be taken care. I request Q&A can be intermediate or can be taken at the last. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? I hope this is the last session. Okay. To begin with, what is managed services? So, the name itself represents that it is a practice of managing or outsourcing, it is a practice of outsourcing day-to-day management of responsibilities and functions in order to improve the operations and in order to reduce the cost of investing in IT infrastructure. So it's all about it is an outsourcing of management of responsibilities and functions to third managed service providers for effective management of IT infrastructure. The core business challenges faced by a customer while handling the infrastructure by themselves are number one, lack of scalability, and number two, it requires large investment of IT infrastructure, and apart from that, it also requires a lot of space needs to be allocated for implementing the infrastructure. And number three will be and the three will be we need to consider about we need to add a lot of manpower needs to be considered in order to monitor and manage the setup infrastructure. In order to address all these business challenges, managed services provides a measured approach along with best-in-class monitoring tools in order to effectively manage the infrastructure in a better aspects. And apart from that, it also provides management of database or software and ERP management, security management, backups, everything can be end-to-end driven in a holistic manner. And also, in a nutshell, managed services provides collectively for end users for a business to address a business requirement then and there. And it also provides maintenance in order to validate predictive and proactive maintenance support for a business users. Last but not least, it also provides a proactive remote support to address a business requirement then and there.
One second. Say actually, if you see this actually, as we all know that if we measure only, so actually we need to measure to monitor, we need to monitor to manage, and we need to materialize. If we need to materialize, yes, we need to maintain it. Okay, so this is actually is a fundamental concept. So managed services is nothing but actually is to measure what we have to going to monitor it and monitor what we have to manage it and maintain and through a proactive support. In this management part, actually the idea is that actually it's a fully OPEX model. It's nothing but other than the CAPEX, everything can be a pay-per-usage model. In that management, entire IT, security, operating systems, backups, replications, networks, the entire pool of IT portfolio can be managed as a service. Then on-premises silo of infrastructure and resource to manage this.
And the core benefits are it reduces cost for investing in infrastructure, and it also provides high scalability, high availability, and flexibility. It also provides a system and process-driven approach for business users. And over to Girish.
Thanks, Swami. Well, actually, next topic is going to be remote infrastructure management. We call it as borderless management. We just termed it, we just coined as a concept. Say actually, interesting part, if you go search in Google, if you put RIM, okay, you'll get a research in motion. Actually, research in motion is nothing but BlackBerry is a provider, BlackBerry company. If you go to images, if you see RIM, you could see that rims of cars or bikes. Okay, jokes apart, just science. See this remote infrastructure management actually is it's very similar to managed infrastructure, but the key difference is that this is combination of OPEX and CAPEX. CAPEX is nothing but the enterprise company or the organization, they should have that infrastructure in place, then the management can be outsourced. So if you see this business challenges, scarcity of specialized technical resources in each component or product. You see any data center or any organization server farms, you could see the firewalls, networks, security equipments, servers, storages, backup and devices, etc. There are many tools, and also to manage each and every tool, there is a software is required. That is vendor specific. If it is Cisco, yes, Cisco specific proprietary software is required. If it is HP, yes, it is a unique software is required. So again, there's a scarcity in specialized technical skills. Second is that actually the geographical location. Actually, if it's an enterprise organization as a is some MNC or just due to this globalization, so many companies presence in different organizations, different locality, different geographical locations, so that there is a lack of single system or processes in place to manage the entire infrastructure. Again, this is one of the challenges. Third is that actually the lack of visibility in cost of services or this maintenance or managing those resources or the infrastructures due to because of the people and processes and technologies from different locations. Last is that actually there is a lack of scope of continual improvement. In the sense, actually, there is no any systematic or process-oriented approach in this. To address that, actually, remote infrastructure management is a concept to address all these business challenges. Say, what is RIM? Actually, if you see this, this is typical actually customer end. These are all the infrastructure typically will be available. If you see firewall, data center, storage, again security, networks, and applications like Windows, Linux, whatever maybe DB to IBM, whatever the platforms, again desktops and end user technology. So the RIM is a concept that every piece of resources can be managed remotely through service provider. Everything can be handled through internet, so this is entirely is going to be borderless. So that remote infrastructure management, they put us, actually the idea is that service provider, they'll be having a monitoring tool like cockpit or dashboard kind of tool with the measures, with metrics for each and every component, with a threshold value, etc. They do proactively manage this. If you see this, that benefits that enables the management of entire IT piece through remotely. And also we can define SLA, uptime SLA, and also that SLA for resolution, response time SLA can be set. Again, it's a plug and play. Actually, assume that actually you can find quickly a vendor and you can outsource it than recruiting and retaining and training and gradually improving the talents. Another is, yes, it's going to be borderless, and entire the visibility is going to be in a single pane of glass for a provider. Again, it's actually, there is a continual improvement in this space. If you could see this, most of the providers, most of the tools, now it's ITIL certified, ISO 20000 ISMS practice involved. Again, it's going to be a 24/7 monitoring and proactive approach and IT support for its entire infrastructure. So if you see this, actually, this key benefits for businesses, systematic and process-driven, as I said, like ISO 20000 ITIL best practices. Then it's going to be a higher uptime and proactive management. Say all this planned maintenance, monitoring, technologies and management can be handled proactively. Yes, it's going to be a plug and play. And actually, if you could see this there is a cost and ROI visibility in terms of technology management. This is actually typically, if you compare managed services, this is going to be a combination of OPEX and CAPEX. that is going to be entirely is going to be an OpEx model. Yes, actually, it's a minimized people resource required. Again, it's a flexibility and scalability. Say tomorrow, actually, if you are bringing with a new country or assume that companies are acquiring some other organization, yes, that infrastructure also brought into the same platform so that it can be managed. So it gives some liberty of leveraging the OpEx model than CapEx. Again, it's a borderless management. So going to the next topic is CI is a converged infrastructure. So actually in a typical organization, as you've seen that actually this is going to be a challenge actually in any business. Huge number of hardwares and management software, lack of compatibility and untested configurations. Because if you see, there are many brands, many principals like Cisco, HP, IBM, NetApps. So there are thousands of thousands. They have their own unique technology and there is a integration complexities and they don't speak each other seamlessly. These are the challenges we see. And again, actually, if you go to data center, any data center, you could see bunch of cables and lack of management and visibility will be there. And again, higher maintenance cost. Again, lower efficiency in terms of, there is actually, if you put more number of units, again, there will be a less utilization. Maybe our intention, our requirement may be that 30% of resources, whereas we need to put 100% of procure and we can keep it for long-term requirements. Again, actually, cost of real estate and power cooling and HUAWEI is nothing but a heat, ventilation, and air conditioning system for data center. And again, there is a challenge in retention of specialized talents and skill because if you have a Cisco networks or if you have a HP or if you have a IBM or NetApp storage technology, again, we need to have a skilled pool of talent to manage those technology. Otherwise, it will become chaos. Then actually, if you could see this, there are higher level of dynamism in terms of newer technologies and there is a lesser technology life cycle. So this is also challenge for a business. So the converged infrastructure, it's going to be a product or technology. It is to address the business challenges. So we term this as a converge to concur. Say if you see this converged infrastructure, nothing but all these bits and pieces of products or this technology, devices and tools bring into a single architecture. So there will be a one large box with a scalable feature. So organization can or based on their needs. Say assume that today's my requirement is 1 TB of disk, SSD or SAS or SATA, whatever be the technology. I can design such a way that I can take the converged infrastructure. Infrastructure I can design, I can take it as a single box. Again, there is a power and cooling. Actually, it comes with power, UPS, all these distributions. Again, network also comes along with that unit. Yes, servers, all these cores, resources, RAM, CPU, yes, it's given along with it so that the system administrator or the organization can design based on their requirement with a single big box. Again, the managed software is going to be a single software. Unlike others, there will be a multiples of softwares to manage each and every bits and pieces of resource. It's going to be a single software, single window. So the entire stuff can be managed in the single application. So if you see this actually that benefit of this actually, a simpler management of infrastructure, again lower cost as compared to others because basically actually in the traditional style there will be over provisioning. Here it can be that sizable, we can size as and when we require. Yes, actually it's going to be a less moving parts, so we need not move anything. If we want to move, we need to move entire box. Lesser silos of IT systems, so everything is, since it's integrated. And this gives an opportunity for an organization to move towards a private cloud, like a co-location. So in data center, we can take some rack space or real estate space. We can put this box over there so that the entire power, cooling, this 24/7 security, everything can be managed. That can be outsourced. This gives an liberty or that private cloud. It enables actually private cloud and greater level of control in terms of managing it. If you see this, actually there are many players in this market for the CI, HUAWEI, IBM, HP, again Hitachi, UCP. VCE is actually VMware, Cisco and EMC. They partnered together. They come up with a UCS called Unified Computing Systems. Again Dell and NetOps, FlexPod. These are all the players today in converged infrastructure so that an organization can decide the brand based on the requirements, brand specific, if at all they have. Otherwise, actually, there is slight cost as well as that features variability, because it's a reliability nowadays. Apart from that, actually, the feature-wise, it is going to be the same. The organization can customly design based on their requirements. So this is about conversation. Next, we'll go to Hana appliance. So most of you actually we know about what is Hana. Actually, we are not going to touch up that the application part. If you see this, Hana is, we termed this as a indulge in memory. Say because memory is going to be a major part than traditional disk-based technology. So if you see this, overall it's going to be a high-performance analytical appliance system. RAM, actually the random access memory is going to be a key player to throw the analytical information. So if you see this, actually Hana as an appliance, so actually it's a high performance in-memory data, eliminates all these bottlenecks, lower maintenance because automation DB replication. So if you see this again, it's easy deployment because column and rows, there is no any tables, there is no longer need. Again, actually it's a fast performance due to in-memory data eliminates bottlenecks and quick data loading. So if you say this, actually this, we've gone into more technical detail. Actually, we've gone to the different sites and SAP database. We studied, it is actually in Hana appliance. If you see this, these are all the players, these are all the certified appliances. If you see, Bull SAS, actually, they have about 11 certified appliances, meaning 11 models. Again, if you go to Cisco systems, they have 52. The Fujitsu technology is highest, they have 149 certified models they have in SAP certified models. Again, if you go to IBM Lenovo, yes, they have 110 certified models. Overall, it's about 543 models certified by SAP. So customer can decide or opt based on their implementation requirement. So if you see this, actually these 537 models or device brand models is being classified into 3 CPU architecture because Hana is compatible in these 3 models. Intel Negalom EX E7, again Westminster and HUAWEI Bridge. These are all the 3 CPU is compatible for Hana, is certified by SAP. If you see this, these are all the vendors compatible with these 3 models, 3 CPUs. So actually Fujitsu actually is, if you see this, 128, just to get into that, 128 approved certified models in Intel HUAWEI Bridge EX E7. Again, this actually gives some more input to you. Shall I? If you see this, actually, this is actually file system based analysis. Actually, sorry, actually, a few steps are actually missing this thing. If you see this, these are all the certified file systems, Hana certified file systems. Again, actually, this depends on this customer's requirement. While designing itself, the appropriate appliance can be opted. Again, if you go to next is appliance type. Actually, there are 3 appliance types available. Single node, basically, actually single installation. Another one is SOH. Actually, is SAP actually suite on Hana. Another one is a scale out for actually multi-servers approach, multi-node approach. If you see this, again, these are all the models, compatible models. Fujitsu, they have 93 models for compatible for single node architecture. So this, if you want a very specific to model, actually, maybe we can refer this SAP site that can be helpful for you. Again, actually, OS level. Actually, these are all the compatible or certified OS SAP as for Hana. There are about 6 OSs being certified. If you see this, actually, if some customer, they are very specific about Dell and they want to go for SELS 11 SP2, they can go for this there are only 2 models are available, if you see this. So the customer can select. Again, actually, it depends on the scalability, because all these models, there is a very specific disk, also RAM as well as also classified in this. So typical actually SAP HANA hardware is nothing but this combination of CPU virtualized. It's not only Red Hat, actually SUSE Linux also certified by SAP HANA. So this is actually the hardware is nothing but a combination of this. So actually, if you see this, actually, there are two models available. One is HANA certified appliance, that is what we have showcased now. Second is that actually SAP HANA recommended appliance is also available. This is not recommended for a production thing. Actually, if you see this, actually they are recommending minimum 8 core with 128 GB of RAM with 256 GB of disk space. That is actually with Intel processor architecture. This is for approved, not approved actually. Yeah, it's for approved, not for a production environment. So if customer they want to develop some test environment or POC, yes, they can opt for this. If you see this actually, all this 536 model actually, you know that HANA is actually a in-memory architecture. If you see this 120, actually as of now it is all these hardware appliances available from 128 GB to 12 TB of RAM. At maximum, this 12 TB is with the HP hardware.
And what would be your role in identifying the partner ecosystem for all the 4 or 5 that you just talked about?
Okay.
Can you please brief a little bit?
Fine. So actually, if you talk about 4D, say there are many players available. If you see the Veras Infotech or many partners available, this is a known circle. One. That is easy way to go identify a right partner through due diligence, and we can take it, because there are almost 10 to, if you go into Axel IT says there are many partners available. They are RIM also, they are one of the portfolio in the industry. Yes, they can do that. If at all, if you want to set our own in-house, yes, that is also possible.
Are you ready to lead that team?
Certainly we can do that.
So to start with, we have 2 infrastructure opportunities right now on hand.
Okay.
One is with Muntajat, and the other one is with Sagia.
Yeah.
So these are the 2 opportunities we have. So I want a clear-cut plan, either tomorrow or today, to see what is the way forward, at least to work on these 2 projects. Maybe identifying due diligence, working with many partners, maybe down the road. We would need to put a lot of effort in these 2 contracts and ensure that we win this contract.
Sure.
So
We'll work on it definitely.
If I'm not wrong, last week we already discussed with Sini Subaya regarding this, in order to where we can also try in multiple verticals in order to stabilize ourselves in future requirement. Because since you already say, since we have 2 opportunities, and we also visualizing in further more opportunities to be come in a strategical manner, so we can also do it so that it will be good initiate for us in terms of IT infrastructure.
If it is going to be a RIM, actually we can set up offshore RIM environment. If it is going to be on-prem, yes, we need to deploy our own people. Ideally, they would opt for maybe 2 models, both together could be.
Yeah, to start with, probably on-premise model.
Okay.
Once there is confidence in us, probably we could see what part of the works could be carved out and executed from offshore and bring that cost benefit analysis, cost benefits to the customer.
Okay.
RIM and all, I think the margin you will have it when you have operated from here. So you need to have the infrastructure set up to monitor it. So either you can, we discussed for Muntujat case, either we can, that is more of the manpower supply. Muntujat is more of a manpower supply. It's not outsourcing. So when you talk about outsourcing, you need to have the remote infrastructure to manage it, right? And but if it is an outsourcing, then you are just going to do the manpower supply. Either you could use like a 4D kind of partners, or you could go with internalizing it, recruiting our own people here.
Girisan, I have a question on the Hana appliance.
Okay.
I always thought it was open source, which is SUSE Linux.
Yeah.
So when did these guys also integrate Red Hat into it? Any idea when the date was? Because I always thought it was SUSE Linux.
Okay.
Now I saw Red Hat also in your presentation.
Yeah, actually, I got this detail. Actually, it's updated on 2nd February 2015.
So it's a recent development.
Yes.
Okay, so they've also gone into Red Hat.
Yeah, all this data actually is as on February 2015.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, Srini, I'm not clear as to the RIM that we are going to offer. Of course, I got some understanding from the questions that were already asked. I just wanted to know that are we going to offer them a CAPEX, OPEX model of service or what? I'm not clear on that, because if we are going to offer them an OPEX based, then we ourselves have to have specializations on various platforms. Do we have that, or do we have a plan to have those specializations in-house? Otherwise, it will be just manpower recruiting and putting them on site.
Yeah, Jayant, actually, to answer your question, actually, there are specific to RIM. Yes, actually, we need to understand their requirements, and we need to have resources internally, and we need to have 24/7 monitoring tools and systems and processes in place, so that manageability alone become OPEX for our customers. Anyway, CAPEX, all this infrastructure, it has to be reside in the customer premises. If they want that also to be outsourced or it has to be OPEX, then it's managed services is going to be a right option. Okay. So for your question, actually, yeah, RIM actually, yeah, there is some investment is required to set up our own skill set, processes and technology before taking to the market. If it's already there is a business requirement is there, yes, that can be an opportunity. Yes, we can take that as and we can explore further. Yeah.
No, Jayanta, see, what we were planning is the revenue per employee currently is at 30 or 33 revenue per employee. Now we want to up it to around 60-70 lakhs over a period of 2 years. So what we are trying to do is for the enterprise accounts, right? Typically, if we are able to manage the SLA and the relationship, we also want to try and see if we can push for RIM and managed services. Okay, that's we will not try and sell it on the net new accounts. It's not an entry strategy. It is for the enterprise accounts where the share of wallet that Selva was talking about, where we want to provide that also as part of the SAP services that we are doing. Now, do we have that? Are we going to insource it, internally build it? That's a question, because we are trying to line up with few partners. One such partner is 4D, where we will have, we are trying to have two sets of partners. One is on the delivery side. We are trying to see if we could, because we have access to those opportunities, we are trying to see if we could outsource it to a set of partners identified in India or maybe outside also. Now, if the deal is really huge, we might even set it up internally also. Insource it also. That's also an option. We are open to that also. We have already started taking those kind of opportunities already. We have started booking orders. And now it all depends upon the size. So the smaller the size, we are outsourcing it right now. Why outsourcing? Because to increase the revenue per employee. That's the idea. So we want more partners, for example, in cybersecurity or in RIM or in managed service or anything that we could add up in terms of an enterprise accounts apart from SAP, we are trying to do it. So yeah, in future, we might do it internally also. That's also an option if you're getting huge orders. I hope that clarifies your question. Thanks, Chair.
Any other questions? Okay.
This is another area. Maran today talked about the local, go local. On the infrastructure part, you can't have every service being executed from offshore or from Indian offices. Probably we will have to use our nearshore offices and have locals, rather Arabic-speaking consultants to do those works. They will certainly expect, when somebody is calling for an L1 support, there shouldn't be any language barrier when it comes to handling of tickets or issues with respect to the remote infrastructure. So probably when you're planning to set up a team, your team has to, I think probably Srini, we need to build local expertise, Arabic speaking or local language speaking consultants as part of the remote infrastructure team. So that probably will be needed at that time. So even for these two projects, 2 bids that we are working on, I've told the pre-sales team to look for profiles from that particular region also. Also, we have to analyze who is the current vendor who is providing those support, not just depend only on the vendors from Chennai. You could also look at options, in that particular country itself. Explore those options as well.
In that case, actually, do they come here, Selva, actually? Because RIM basically to support from remote location, not any physical support. In that case? Okay.
So it is an on-premise
Support.
Yeah. Localization.
Like Greece and Govindia, see, I have worked in TCS where the entire domain was remote infrastructure support. So what Selva is saying is that for touch services or break fix, if that is there in the scope of work, it has to be on-site only.
Yes, yes.
Desk side support, they call it. Or even in VIP support, as you rightly said, the VIPs, they will be classified as 20, 30 people in an organization. They would want to have people there. They wouldn't want to have been supported from India.
Yeah.
So for those kind of things, you need to have a partner.
Obviously. So actually that skilled or that or a very skilled and a scarce resource can be from RIM, and for plug and play or any manual work that can be done from on-prem.